My name is Chelsea Ferris, and today I'm going to present to you my presentation on anxiety and its effects on sleep and dreams. First off, we must define what anxiety is. Anxiety can be characterized by excessive anticipatory fear and chronic worry that people tend to have a difficult time controlling. Symptoms of anxiety can be worry, avoidance, and muscle tension. Secondly, it reflects maladaptive self regulation, specifically dysregulation. And finally, anxiety is a future-oriented mood associated with preparing for the worst possible events. In a study by Sika et al., multi-level analyses showed that going to sleep with a peace of mind was related to a positive dream effect, whereas symptoms of anxiety were related to negative dream effects. In the chart on the screen, we can see that those that go to sleep with low anxiety tend to have a positive effect, meaning that they don't dream of anything negative. Whereas those that go to sleep with high anxiety tend to have much higher levels of negative dreams or nightmares. Depending on how anxious the individual is, this could potentially lead and become one of their personality traits. Anxious individuals tend to also have a few common characteristics. Firstly, this is often characterized as late chronotypes. Late chronotypes are often younger individuals. However, it could change over the span of a lifetime, and the older you get, the least late chronotype you are. Chronotypes have characteristics such as the fact that they have higher nightmare frequencies, they have trouble sleeping and trouble falling back asleep after a nightmare, and they have an increased risk of depression. Anxiety also affects the timing of someone falling asleep and waking up. Anxious individuals tend to sleep later in the evening and wake up later in the day. This is called a circadian disorder of a phase delay. A circadian disorder is a disorder in one's sleep-wake cycle. Anxious individuals tend to be characterized in the phase delay because their minds cannot tend to calm down during the night, but rather are in the working mode. At this point in the night, they are overthinking everything they have experienced and seen during the day, and their minds tend to be quite negative. As seen on the screen, on the first half of this chart, the morning type people tend to have very little nightmares as they go to sleep earlier in the day, but they also wake up earlier in the day. As well, on the other hand, however, evening type people tend to sleep later, meaning that they'll have higher number of nightmares. Individuals who are more prone to evening type report higher dream anxiety as a whole. There are a few consequences when it comes to nightmares, specifically traumatic nightmares. Firstly, trauma could potentially lead to sleep paralysis. Sleep paralysis involves a period of time at either sleep onset or upon awakening from sleep during which voluntary muscle movement is inhibited. When going and experiencing sleep paralysis, this can either be followed by fear or no fear. However, if followed by fear, this will lead to the circle of distress, the second consequence of a traumatic nightmare. The circle of distress, in a study by Sika, states that the stimulation theories of dreaming, especially the threat stimulation theory, will lead to increased anxiety during wakefulness, which will lead to increased threat stimulation and negative effect in dreams. The cycle works as such. The individual will first sleep late. This automatically, with the rest of the aspects as previously stated, makes the individual a late chronotype. So the late chronotype individual will sleep late, which will lead to them having more nightmares. More nightmares will cause stress. Stress increases the frequency of negative emotions and dreams, leading to dream anxiety. And poor sleep quality is also a significant factor as to why somebody has dream anxiety. Having anxiety during sleep will cause the individual not want to sleep because they will not want to fear the nightmares and face the anxious feelings that they experience during sleep, meaning that they'll tend to sleep later and later. This, however, will cause REM sleep to happen earlier in the night. The later we sleep, the earlier REM sleep occurs, and nightmares will then also occur at an earlier point in the night. This causes a cycle to go over and over again until something is done about the nightmares. So until somebody gets help dealing with their dream anxiety, the cycle of distress will constantly occur. Thank you for listening.